Hello, this is Pixie doing another video. I've been here before. It's a graveyard. I wanted to revisit a graveyard and probably use the spirit box. I've also got some other little gizmos. So let's see what I've got recently. So I've got this as like a hug torch, they call it. So so you put it around your neck and walk around at night looking at things. Sort out my bag. What else? You've seen that one before. I've put them together actually. So I've put them together at the moment. So you got that one. That's my. So that's the red one, red light. And this one is ultraviolet. It's quite bright at night, so. Nice, there's some things, little reefs and stuff. That's my other thing I got. I better get out. So yeah, so we've got my little box. This is aerial. Yeah? Picked up some music or something. So it works as some sort of radio. So what we do though, is you start the sweep. Now I picked up before when I was round here, there's some entity, something called Hector, and it's like a tree spirit. Now what happens, as the tree's grown, is there a tree spirit? A settlement agreement. But anyway, there's something I picked up on was like the tree, as it is grown, it merges with its environment around itself. And because it's buried in what we could consider holy ground, at some level, just sleep. Yeah, they do just sleep. The souls kind of merged with the tree, and so this tree has a kind of human element to it. There was something, so I was starting to feel tingly bits around here. And I'm going to use that as a bit of a guide, yeah, because like... So are there any spirits here? Is there anything you'd like to tell us? It's interesting, sometimes you get like information straight away, but at least I'm glad it's actually going through the radio stuff, because there's a lot of devices that just like it's completely fake. So I might in the future use possibly a couple of devices and see if I can get kind of like a communication thing going on in more than one spiritual entity. So yes. Drama. So I guess really what we're looking for is there anything anyone would like to share with us? And they can use this device to do it. Oh goody. I can also change the bandwidth frequency. So we turn to AM, which should be slightly different. So you might end up getting a bit of French and other things in there, but sounds a bit quiet as well. It's quite good. There's also you can lights the backlight on it is slightly red, and then there's other things for the features. So sweep rate, but then it becomes less audible. It goes what? It feels colder, but yeah, I kind of pictured this entity in my mind, and it was female, and it was, I guess, fairly human, but it's very sort of tree elements to it as well. And its eyes were black, so maybe like a pixie type thing. It was taller though. So, any spirits tuned to this? Do you like it here? Do you find it peaceful? I'll be saying that. Well, what I say, like the previous session, is I'll probably afterwards be listening into what's been said, because sometimes it's quite hard to pick out things. It doesn't help that I've got a bit of tinnitus in my ears, or ringing in my ears, which I've never fully understood what's brought that about. These are older ones, was where the gravestones sort of sunken into the ground. We just turned into a cavity. Oh god! Hope I not see anything scary in here. I'm treading around on these graves. And I've just collapsed right in. So that's quite interesting, the dragon motif. Age 17. Wow. 7's there, isn't it? I did look at another site as well. I think back to the investigation. That was back at that church. Into the woods. There's a place further to the side, and I haven't gone there yet. And I'll probably keep a certain amount of distance. It's like some type of power grid thing. So slightly it gets some transformers in there. It boosts the current of the electricity, the national power grid. So there's something there. It definitely would be like a hotspot for paranormal activity, because things like, well, it's a lot. It's going to produce a lot of electro energy and lots of frequencies off from that, and also a lot of. I should always be a bit clear. Sometimes it starts communicating, especially if you ask a question and something comes back. Just think about that. It may have been an attempt to try to communicate, because if it comes straight after what you've said, it's quite interesting. I could ask his spiritualities, do aliens exist? That's a bit broad, isn't it? Do aliens visit Earth? Yes. Yeah, it's a little plant down there. Something else we've tried to do is bring some plants here, I think. Because they're fairly contained beds, but if you plant something there just to make it a bit more interesting, because all that's going to be filled up, that bed, is with stinging nettles by the looks of it. Stinging nettles like growing around there. Also of Jane, beloved wife. Yeah. So yeah, this place in the church though is probably worth. The thing is, when you go to the location, it's worth doing a risk assessment, not unless you're with other people, because if you fall over and injure yourself, it's not going to be fun, is it? Which is, yeah, you don't want to be stuck in the woods, so you always got to have plenty of equipment, extra phone maybe or something. So, well, you need power, definitely. Yeah, so this woodlands area is probably, I mean, there might be a certain amount of restriction. They're definitely from the road. There was massive gates on it, and I was thinking, is it some type of private school? Is it a golf club? Because there's lots of sort of these sporting venues around this church as well. Well, there's a cricket ground and stuff. I wonder if the cross would have come off. Yeah. So are there tree spirits here? I'll just flip back to. Oh, it's got a lot louder in it. Ooh, listen to that weird noise. It's like it's hearing a bird. There's the aliens. Weird, eh? It is on a certain frequency though. Slightly in the inaudible range. That's how I just switched it over, that was all. I dropped the volume slightly. But when the birds are going, it starts making noises just after them all the same time. Yeah, there's another thing to this thing. It's also got a little light to be activated. I think it's there we go. It's a weird noise, isn't it? Are we communicating with an entity at the moment? Yes! It's like that. Okay. So we're just peacefully investigating the area. Okay. And we're very interested to learn new things, gain greater understanding. Signal's stronger this way, though, isn't it? We'll test it. We'll test this through. I have to sort of meditate and listen to that. I wonder if it's just scrambled white noise or if it's some. But if anything, it's kind of something you can try to make sense in your mind, like some muffled noise. Is it someone talking or what they're saying? It may also come stronger if you concentrate as well. as collective consciousness, out like a beacon to sort of home in and focus. Oh, I'll stop when I get to a good audio point. That was interesting. The voice, there's something did come through. Weird, actually. It's starting to feel like it's being pulled a little bit. Yeah, it feels heavier. Okay, well, we'll go back to sweeping, but it's strange what it is. Sometimes the sweep rates, and maybe it's not too loud, but it's just FM's a bit more clearer. And you can increase the rate. You can reverse it as well. You've got reverse sweep rate. Just looking, I guess, I don't know. Nothing really I want to ask. I'm not going to ask anything that kind of incites reactions. Do this, do that. I do have something else actually. I'll test it in a bit. Here's someone doing some work in the graveyard. Shame it's not like a bench. There's nowhere you can sit down and chill. Is it just pure roots that are knocked it over? Must weigh a ton though, that headstone. It's just like just topples over, boom. They've got bins here, so I assume people walk around eating and things like that in the graveyard. Eric, are you there? Peter Eric Smith, are you there? Yes, okay. How are you? Very happy. Okay. Is the afterlife what people think it is? Yes. Yes. Okay. Some other plane of existence brings about peace, and there's some work I think getting carried out down there. I'll have a little look. I don't want to draw too much attention. Otherwise you might go, there's a loony with a camera and a phone, looks like a detonator. Yeah, it looks like a detonator. Blow grave up. Come on! It's for the cause, whatever that is. I haven't decided if it's worth it yet. Let's see. These are quite interesting ones. Oh, that bird is. Something else. Put it on the wrist or something, I guess. I've got these devices as well. Okay, so if you kind of it looks even more dodgy. So what I want is a hard surface. It's got a bit of a roll to it, that one has. It's going off quite a bit. See little flickers. So we could always try a little experiment. Don't think anything's necessarily got telekinetic powers. If there are any spirits with us, could you could you cause a reaction with the ball? Just need to touch it or make some sort of contact. I had a thing with at home. I used like divination tool. I created a bit like Ouija type thing, and yeah, it was going off. And all I did is a pendulum going above it. I have to show you the pendulum stuff at a later date. Probably not too much activity, but then you know, if it's like wind blowing it or something, there's no evidence. If you go into a place and it starts creaking, the floorboards start creaking and other things, whatever's in it is reacting with the environment at a different level. Especially if there's anything like where you get kind of like bangs and stuff like that. Yeah, could you make contact with the ball? Oh, okay. Because it also allegedly takes a lot of energy to kinetic thing, psychokinetic. I won't worry too much about it. So walk around. Are you there? All I've got to do is shake it. It doesn't always go off though. It does need a certain amount of force. So, if I balanced it in my hand, for example. Press the button. I was going to turn it off. See, it doesn't just go off easily because I'm wandering around a bit. So I won't worry too much. Just a bit. I guess it's kind of another way of confirmation. If something can't communicate or make some sort of signal, then you might try to look for other forms to do that. My bag of tricks. There you go. There's our lady. Oh. Look at that. They're getting more chatty. This area. I think this kind of. I guess it is a statue. Something about it. Some of it's where the nut was just taken over. Well, brambles are everywhere, aren't they? What on earth's happened here? It's been absolutely massacred. The bird had been completely massacred, whatever happened here. See, it's had all its feathers removed. But there's no evidence of any other body parts. Feathers have all been removed. Could be foxes. Maybe the pigeon just went too low on the ground and it was dark or whatever and got pounced on. Hello. That's what I heard. So I'll walk on now. I'll probably turn this off for a bit. So some sort of gate says beware of the dog. So I wonder if people do go for the back. I don't sense any dogs. Otherwise you'll come down the garden. Oh bless. I like they've sort of channeled it out here so that it doesn't so you don't tread all over the grave basically. It's interesting, this chap did his hand chopped off. Looking towards the light. Beautiful of our dear and beloved. No, it's not. It's something else. And only child. Oh right. Oh bless. Their child died in 1931. We still have some kind of like flowers. They're not official ones, but so there may have been other relatives that would have mourned on their behalf, I guess. So get your cat balls out. See through there. It's interesting though, having a graveyard at the back of your property or your property nearby. It's always unusual. Alice, are you there, Alice? Can you communicate with us? Oh, I need to sweep it. What do you want? Just know you're alright, really. Sort of thrilling you. Yeah, she seems alright. Answer with music. I'll have to see these other Spirit devices if they're the same. Maybe look at if there's reviews online. So different things. Yeah, so I might return to the church place. Likely I'd want to do that. I'd like to it'd be nice to do a kind of like evening walk really to go into night, because at least I would know the route. So if I go off and explore something and come back, it's not a big issue. Obviously if you walk around at night and you get lost in the woods, I'm going to have to use a phone GPS to figure out where I am and then try to find a way out. And there's a few little traps in there. There's like a well or something crazy like that. Last time I looked, there could be some slippery bridges and stuff like that. So there could be things I could twist my ankle in and then have to scramble through a woods. But the power grid stuff would be interesting, and also how does it fit into the local area. It's very tranquil walking through here. There's some squirrels up there. Squirrel in the tree. Look at that grave, it's sort of hidden away by a tree now. Sort of. There we go. End of our journey. Plus I'm always careful, there's the school grounds across the road. I just don't want a negative impression of just an interest in the area, and also it's making use of this space, because if you just go here to die and occasionally your relatives visit you once in a blue moon, it doesn't really get used that much. And the problem with that is that councils, land developers and so on will start pushing into the territory, especially old graves and stuff. Squirrel was like a missile. Often. Guardians. Look at it, it's going right round. Straight up. Yeah, so I think I might also, like I say, pop a few plants in and see what happens. Right, this is big sign up for a great one. Speak to you soon.